Hello, welcome to another new episode of Focus Point Facebook Live. I'm Daniel Young, your host for today. So I'm an optometrist working with the largest optical chain store in Malaysia, which is a Focus Point. So we have a very special guest on this show for you today. So it's none other than Dr. Hoh Hon Bing. Okay, so before we move on to the main topic, I would like to share a little bit about Dr. Ho's biography. So Dr. Ho is an ophthalmologist trained in London and Bristol in England. Previously, he was an academician, having served as the chairman of Malaysian Ophthalmology Society between the year 1999 to 2001. And also, he's an associate professor at UST Malaya with over 40 research publications as well as a ophthalmological textbook. So currently, he has a private practice at ExcelView Laser Eye Center since 2000 and has performed over 20,000 eye operations in the last 20 years. Wow, that's amazing, doctor. That means it amounts to about 1,000 eye operations per year. So before we actually move on to the main topic of today, doctor, which is the LASIK surgery, okay, maybe we want to ask doctor, maybe just to highlight what is the refractive errors and what are the common causes of refractive errors.
Thank you, Daniel, for inviting me to this seminar. Refractive errors, or in Malay called rabun, occurs when we are not able to see things clearly. As simple as that. In Malay, it's called rabun. When we are born, every baby, every one of us actually has quite perfect eyesight. Problem is, as we get older, we start to develop refractive errors. So what are refractive errors? Refractive errors is when we are not able to see something clearly. Now, there is a high incidence now. Before, if you look at our grandparents and our parents, a lot of them had really perfect eyesight. So a lot of research has gone into wondering, why has the incidence gone up? In Asia, about a third of the young children and adults now need to wear glasses or contact lens or something for their refractive error. So researchers have found it's actually the technological advancement. Our parents and our grandparents didn't have the luxury to have gadgets, mobile phones, mobile games, computers, or even books to read. They spend most of their time outdoors, playing in the grass, cycling, playing by the lake. And this outdoor activity has actually been very good for the eyes. Now, especially with COVID, all of us are stuck in home, either at the office or in the house, scared to move out. And we are all looking at gadgets, all things on TV, all of which means that we are actually looking something with our eyes and giving them strain. Now, this has proved to be not so healthy. Now, what are the three refractive errors? There are three main types. I think we're going to have some figures here for me to help you describe. The first one, and the most common one, is called short-sightedness or myopia. Myopia means that you are able to see things near, hence short-sighted, but things that are far are out of focus. In our diagram, we have a girl and a guy. The girl who is nearer to us is clear, but the one further, the man further away, is out of focus. So that is short-sighted or myopia. And the reason because the eyeball is much bigger. And the focus point of the images that are seen are actually not focused onto the retina, which is the where we able to see, but actually in front of it. And therefore, the near images are clear, but the far are not. That is what Asians mostly have issues with. You can see some kids in standard 1, as early as standard 1, they actually cannot see the blackboard. They can only see their books, but cannot see the blackboard. That is short-sighted. So the second one is actually long-sighted, which is the opposite, or it's called hyperopia. Now, if you look back at the image here, the person away, the man, is actually clear, but the person in front, which is the girl, is out of focus. Now, the reason for this is because the eyeball is small, and therefore the focus point is actually behind the eye, and therefore the whole image is out of focus. This is not common in Asia. It's actually much more common in the Western world. The third is astigmatism, where both the front and the back images are actually blurred. And the reason of it is nothing to do with the eyeball, but actually to do with the cornea. Instead of being nice and spherical, which is nice and round, the cornea is actually oval in shape. And therefore, the focus point is divided into two, making both images out of focus. And that is a summary of the 3 refractive errors that we see in Asia nowadays.
All right. But how about presbyopia? Because I'm in my 40s now, so I do have some issues.
Yes, Daniel is actually having to wear glasses because he can't read his text.
Yes.
Now, presbyopia is long-sighted of old age. In Chinese, it's called Lao Hua. Now, even though you don't need to wear glasses when you're young or is a kid, by the time you get to 40, 45, the focusing muscle to help us focus things for near become less effective. We find that we have to move our things further and further away. And that's why you see your parents and your grandparents having to buy reading glasses to be able to see that, because the focusing muscle is no longer able to produce. It increases every 5 to 10 years, and it keeps increasing until you get to about 70 and 80.
All right. Okay. So I believe there are 3 options or 3 solutions that can actually correct the vision.
Yes, there are. So if you have a refractive error, the best person to go to is the optician. So Daniel, who's an optometrist, will now describe to you how to correct refractive errors.
That's right. So basically, we have 3 solutions. Being the first one is the eyeglass corrections. So with eyeglass corrections, they are basically divided into 2 types, which is the single vision. Basically, this one will correct the distance issues, whether the person is short-sighted or long-sighted. Okay, so of course, then the other one will be the multifocals. So basically, multifocals can help with both the distance and near viewing issues. Okay, so with multifocals actually comes in various forms, but the 2 most current forms that is available at the moment is usually bifocals, whereby the correction for distance vision is on the upper half of the lens, and the bottom half is actually to correct the near vision. And of course, we have the latest one, which is the progressive lenses. With the progressive lenses, it's something like the bifocals, but without the dividing lines. So then customers can see the transition between the distance, intermediate, as well as the reading. So of course, I believe not everyone likes to wear glasses.
That's right. Glasses sometimes, unfortunately, although they look quite, make you look more educated, smarter, but actually sometimes can be a bit inconvenient.
Yeah.
I think I can imagine there are 3 reasons for that. One is actually quite heavy, especially when your power is high and the lenses is quite heavy. It actually sits on your nose and it actually gives you an imprint on the here, and it's a bit uncomfortable. Although at the same time now with COVID, and for those who are wearing glasses, and you're wearing a mask, it's like eating Maggi mee. Your glasses steam up. And that's what you can do about that, correct? Yeah. So that's the second reason why it's not so convenient. But I think the third one, which is the most important one, is there are things you want to do where you cannot wear glasses at all. What do I mean by that? You cannot go swimming, you cannot go diving, water sports, you cannot play contact sports like football, MMA, boxing, or something like that when you wear glasses. And if you want to join the army or navy or even the airline, I'm afraid you will fail your actually suitability test because you need to be glasses free. So that brings us to the second option, I suppose.
Yes.
So if you don't like glasses, there's a second option for you.
Yes, true. So actually the second solution that is available is contact lens corrections. So basically contact lenses is a thin plastic disc that is sitting directly onto your eyes. Okay, so to correct the vision. So basically there are 2 types of contact lenses, which is the soft contact lenses as well as the hard contact lenses. Alright, so with soft contact lenses, it's actually made of soft plastic material. So basically this is the most popular type at this moment of time. Because why? They are more comfortable than hard contact lenses. All right. So there are several types of soft contact lenses. Basically, with the daily wear contact lenses, you can wear this during the day and actually clean them at night. Okay, so of course you have to follow instructions. You have to replace them according to the schedule that your eye care professional has suggested. Then, of course, there is the daily disposable contact lenses, which is you can wear them during the day and then just throw them away at night. Yeah. Then, of course, there is the color cosmetic contact lens as well. That's available whether in daily wear or daily disposable.
Now that's become a fashion statement now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's very popular with the young people. Actually, you can actually wear it whether you have refractive errors or not.
Yeah.
You can just wear it. A lot of them actually have a whole set depending on what colors they want to wear to match their clothes.
Yeah.
So contact lenses have come a long way for the last 20, 30 years.
True. Yeah. So basically, like what doctors say, they can choose the colors according to their attire, or maybe if you're going for Halloween, you want to be scary to your friends.
Yes.
So you can actually choose whatever designs you might like lah. Okay. But of course, there's a second type, which is hard contact lenses, or in other words, called RGP, or in long rigid gas permeable. So these are more durable compared to the soft contact lenses. All right. They are easy to take care of. But the only unfortunate thing is less comfortable.
Yes, but they can correct higher powers.
That's right.
And higher astigmatism.
Yeah, it's a bit more stable, I think.
It is much more stable, but they need more care.
Okay. So, of course, the Dr. Hoh, I mean, since you have been in this industry for so long, what are the contact lens complications that you witnessed so far?
Actually, to be fair, contact lens it's actually been very, very safe throughout the entire world. But, as Daniel was mentioning there, you have to take care of it. And secondly, you also must respect the manufacturer's guide as far as expiry time is concerned. Now, there are seen three major and very quite dangerous complications that you come of it. But that is because they haven't followed the guidelines or they've abused the contact lens. So what do I mean? So for contact lens, you need to actually clean them, especially when you go to sleep at night. But if you sleep with them, that's a no-no. If you don't clean with them or you use with tap water, that's a no-no. So what if you did that? Because you're trying to save money or trying to be too lazy, what will happen is you will get bacteria inside your container, and then that bacteria will be transferred into your contact lens. When you wear it the next day, the contact lens will have the bacteria go into your eye, and that causes an infection. It's called conjunctivitis, the red eye or pink eye. Now, the moment you get this, you have to stop wearing it. But there are some people who unfortunately still wear, stubborn, and they continue to wear. And what will happen is the infection will get deeper and deeper, and it will cause a corneal ulcer. Now, by the time they get a corneal ulcer, that is actually quite dangerous because it's actually buried a little hole into the front of the eye. And at that stage, it becomes quite serious, and that's when we see them. We have to sometimes take them to hospital, apply eye drops day and night, every hour, until the bacteria dies. And when you heal, there will always be a corneal scar. And that is not good because that will blur the vision. But if you listen to the instructions, don't sleep with them, use the appropriate contact lens solutions, okay, then you should not have this problem.
Okay.
Now the second one is usually because of discomfort. Okay, that when you wear your contact lens far too long. When you are young, when your first 10 years of your life, you can wear your contact lens from morning when you first wake up to when you sleep at night. But then the second 10 years, by the time you're about 20 plus 30, you find that it gets a little bit dry in the afternoon. And that's because the environment that we are in, especially if it's sunny place, the air conditioning, or when it's windy, you find that the contact lens tends to stick to your eye. And that's because of dryness. Now, you can solve the problem by applying lubrication eye drops, which you can buy from the pharmacy or from your opticians, to apply 2 or 3 times a day when you feel a bit dry. You don't have to put it in the morning, but usually by about lunchtime, it may start to get dry, you apply one. And then about 3, 4 o'clock, then 7 o'clock, and then before you sleep, when you take out the contact lens. That comes when you're wearing your contact lens far too long. The third one is actually nothing to do with you at all. It's nothing to do with how you take care. It's because as you get older, after about 20 to 25 years of wearing contact lens, you find it a bit uncomfortable when you first put on your contact lens. It's what we call contact lens intolerant. Your eye is now a bit sensitive when you first put in the contact lens. And that is the time, unfortunately, you should stop wearing contact lens. The age is usually about 30 plus, about 20 over years of after wearing contact lens. And unfortunately, there's no cure for that.
Okay.
Which brings us to the third topic.
Yes. So before we actually move on to the main topic of the day, so basically, if you do have any questions, please put into the comment section. Okay. So we will look through it and we will answer it accordingly. Okay. So but I think it's good that we share a bit of insight about what LASIK treatment is first before we answer those questions. Okay. So yeah. So now we are talking about the third solution.
Yes.
All right. So maybe Dr. Ho, can you enlighten the viewers today on how the procedure is like?
Yeah. My work in the last 20 years specializes in LASIK. Now, when I mention people with glasses, when they do come to ask for the procedure, it's because, like I said, the glasses are a bit heavy. It's a bit uncomfortable. They need to not wear glasses for sport. Or, as I mentioned earlier, they cannot wear the contact lens. They become contact lens intolerant. And that's where they ask me for the third solution. What can I do?
Yes.
Now, what you can do is LASIK. Now, what is LASIK? LASIK is the acronym for Laser Assisted Stromal In Situ Keratomyolysis. LASIK. That's what it is. So it's a procedure to change the shape of your cornea so that it becomes, instead of being oval, as I mentioned earlier, becomes nice and round. It's a very simple, painless procedure, and the laser treatment is literally less than 60 seconds. This is what I was mentioning, amazing procedure that has been invented for the last 20 years and has now been done on millions and millions of people from all over the world.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, the procedure is divided into 3 steps. First, we make a little flap so that we are able to reach the middle layer of the cornea, where in step 2, we are actually sculpting the eye using the laser. When we sculpt the eye, we make sure that any imperfections on the cornea is polished, is sculpted and polished to its original round spherical form before we finally, in the third step, put the corneal flap back. And all this is done within 2 to 3 minutes. I think we will show you the video.
Yes.
So that it's much easier for you to understand.
First, the medical staff put a surgical cap on your head and lead you to a reclining chair. Next, they clean your eye with a cotton swab. Then, the medical staff puts medicine drops in your eye. These drops keep you from feeling pain during the procedure and help keep you from blinking. You may be given other medicine as well. After your eye has been cleaned and medicated, the doctor places a metal device in your eye called a speculum. The speculum keeps your eye open during surgery. This might feel a little uncomfortable. That's normal. You will be asked to look at a blinking red light. You should focus on this light at all times during the procedure. This helps make sure your eye remains in the correct position during surgery. Next, the doctor makes 3 or 4 ink marks in your eye. These marks show the doctor exactly where to put the flap when the procedure is done. You will not feel the ink marks being applied. Then the doctor places a small metal plate on your eye called a suction ring. The suction ring helps to hold your eye still during surgery. After the suction ring is in place, it is pushed down onto the cornea. This will not hurt, but it may feel like a vacuum has been placed on your eye. Your vision may go black for a few moments. These sensations are normal. The doctor then starts the cutting process. First, he puts a cutting tool on top of the suction ring. The cutting tool is called a microkeratome. Next, the doctor uses the cutting tool to make a small incision in the top of the cornea. You may feel a slight tugging sensation on your eye. The doctor then returns the cutting tool to its original position. This leaves a flap of tissue on the top of the cornea. The doctor pulls the flap back with a thin metal rod. You will still be able to see, but your vision may become hazy. A laser is then projected into your eye for a few moments. You won't see the laser, but you may hear a loud clicking and notice a burning smell. The laser stops when the cornea is in the right shape. The doctor may add eye drops and clean the exposed area. The flap is then put back into its original place using a small metal rod. The doctor makes sure it is in the right place by lining up the ink marks. More drops are placed in your eye to make sure it heals well. The speculum holding your eye open is removed, and you will be asked to blink a few times.
Okay, welcome back. So I noticed there's a lot of questions asking for Dr. Hoh's feedback, but I think it's best maybe we leave it to the end of the session, so at least you can listen to what Dr. Hoh had to say about the LASIK treatment first. Okay, so as I understand, Dr. Hoh, before the person actually undergo the LASIK treatment, okay, they have to undergo what we call, I think, a suitability test.
Yes, that's correct. So before you have a LASIK, we do a suitability test on you, which takes about 30 to 45 minutes long. The reason we have to go such a comprehensive and thorough check is so that we can make the laser very safe, and secondly, most importantly, very accurate for you. So what does the suitability test do? When you come in, we're going to make sure we do a cataract eye check to make sure that your cornea is clear, without any disease, and it's not dry. Then after that, we check your current glasses power or your contact lens power. And then after that, we remeasure it again to make sure that the power has not changed from the last time. To do LASIK, we really need to have two consistent same power that hasn't changed for the last 1 year. In that case, then we can actually do a very, very accurate treatment for you. The second test that we do is actually called the OP scan. It's a diagnostic scan which scans for 18,000 pixel spots on your cornea so that we can map out in 2 and 3 dimensionally how the shape of your cornea looks like, which is the front of the eye. Then all this will be put into the computer algorithm which works out your treatment, customized treatment plan for you so that it can get the power virtually to 0 so that you can actually see without glasses. And that's basically what we do. But it will take about 30 to 45 minutes. And before you come, you have to remove the contact lens at least 3 days to 7 days before coming to rest your eye.
Okay. So what are the ideal candidates or suitable candidates that can undergo this treatment?
In fact, almost anyone can do it. But we do have the suitable list of criteria to make sure that you're suitable. The age limit is, there's no age limit, but you have to be older than 18 years old. The reason why is because when you're young or when you're a teenager, you're still growing. You're still growing taller, and therefore your eyes are still growing. So therefore the power will still change until around 17 to 18, and then after that it stabilizes. You stop growing. Boys stop growing earlier, but girls are different. So what will happen is we want to make sure that the accuracy will always remain the same. Now, a lot of parents have actually brought their kids over to have it done usually about 18 years old before they go to college, before they go to university, okay, before they go abroad. Why? Because when you go abroad, it's very hard and very expensive also to get contact lens and glasses. So that's why the parents bring them over to have it done before they go. So contact lens issues won't arise when you're abroad.
Because in abroad, I understand that it's more stringent to undergo the contact lens check.
Yes, in abroad, it's not easy to actually book a appointment, even with a doctor or an optometrist. You have to make a booking a few months ahead. The second criteria that you have to have is that you're short-sighted must not be more than 1,200. For long-sighted, it's not more than 400, and astigmatism also not more than 400. And that's basically it. It's that simple. If you fall within this criteria, then you're suitable for LASIK procedure.
So please do remember the highest prescription that the person can undergo the laser treatment is up to minus 1200. Okay, like what the good doctor has mentioned just now. So we move on to the first question for today. I'm sure everyone is excited, to win something. So we have actually 5 giveaways to give out. All right. So what is this gift? It's actually we have Cystine eye drops. So this will be suitable for people who have dry or sore eyes. Okay. So this will be a good idea to use it. All right. So we'll be giving out 2 bottles of this Cystine eye drops as well as a special protective eye mask. Okay. So basically, with this current situation at this moment, I think everyone should be well protected. So you can actually use this protective eye mask onto your current glasses, or even if you're not wearing glasses, you can actually put onto your facial mask. Okay, so this is something that you'll get. All right, if you're able to answer the following questions. All right, again, 2 bottles of the Cystine eye drops plus a protective eye mask.
What is the question?
So yes, the question, like what the Dr. Hoh has mentioned just now, what is the highest prescription in terms of minus power that you can actually undergo LASIK treatment?
For short-sightedness?
Yes.
For myopia?
That's right. So remember, so this is the answer. Please put the answer into the comment box as quickly as possible. So the winners will be announced in a short moment. Okay?
So in the meantime, we carry on?
Yes.
And tell you a little bit more about the laser procedure.
True, yes. Back to the LASIK treatment, because before we patient actually undergo the LASIK, so what are the patients needs to do before they actually undergo the treatment?
Correct. So after your suitability tests, you probably fix an appointment to have it done. In Mid Valley ExcelView, we do it usually Friday and Saturday because it's the most convenient and most popular days, because you don't need to get an MC, you don't have to take time off work. So before you come, you will need to take your contact lens off for at least a week. Secondly, wash your hair and face before coming, because on that evening you're not allowed to do so. Remove all eye makeup, especially mascara and eyeliner, so that there is no chance of having any contamination or bacteria that are hanging around before we do the laser. Arrange for transport. Although you can see after the laser, we don't encourage you to drive, but the next day you can drive. But on that day, we can either go back using Grab or a taxi, or ask someone to drive you home. And lastly, just bring a pair of sunglasses, because you might get a little bit glaring, and also to protect you against someone knocking on your face. That's all. It's that simple.
Wow. So please follow these guidelines as suggested that from Dr. Hoh. And then, of course, we can move on to the next section, which is after the LASIK surgery. Okay, so I believe everyone would want to know more about the recovery period.
Yes. Everybody else like to know, when can I get back to work? When can I go back to my normal activity? In the past, 10, 15 years ago, you had to rest for a week because the recovery was slow and it was painful. But LASIK now is actually virtually painless, and the recovery is within overnight. That is amazing how technology has moved on with the times. So there is actually very little you need to look after, because the next day you literally can wash your face already. You can actually go back to work. You can actually drive your car. A lot of people come back for the next day visit driving by themselves. Okay, so they get back. You can go back to your sports, provided that it's not contact sports, because you don't want to get hit in your face, and avoid water sports like swimming and diving for a month. Also, you need to avoid facial spa on your face for 1 week, and makeup for a week. That's all. But you're virtually back to nothing. Very few people has actually asked for MC or medical cert to actually take time off, because the recovery is that fast and that amazing.
Okay. So, is there any medications that I need during this recovery period?
Yes, only 2. We use a bottle of antibiotic eye drops. Just be careful so that you don't get any eye infection, because that's the thing that we are worried about. Until now, nobody's ever had any eye infection from our blood center. And the second thing we give you is the lubricant eye drops.
Yes.
Because after laser, you will have some dryness and grittiness for about between 1 to 2 months. So we do encourage you to have these eye drops to use and we give you enough to last you for the first 2 months anyway.
Okay, that's good to hear. Okay, so please, viewers, please do share and like our topic today. So I'm sure that everyone's looking forward to the answers, but we will put up the answers afterwards. Okay, so
We're getting
maybe-
quite a lot of questions coming in.
we
Yeah.
can- maybe we
You
can.
have to, yeah? Should we?
Maybe we can start a few first. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, the first question is, can people in their late 30s or 40s undergo LASIK?
Yes. Yes, you can. In fact, there's no age limit to the LASIK. There's only the age from which you start, the 18 years old, but from 18 to as long as you can. Usually 30s, 2030s are the perfect age. 40, as one of the questions asked about presbyopia, which is Lao Hua, it will come. Whether you do LASIK or not, presbyopia will come at about 40 plus. So by the time you get 40 plus to 50, you will need reading glass, but you will not have short-sighted or astigmatism until then.
Okay, all
Okay.
right.
So usually in the past, we used to do one eye at a time. That's because last time the recovery was slower, but now recovery is so fast, we do 2 eyes at the same time because you can actually see almost immediately after the LASIK, and by the next morning, you can drive already. So we both 2 eyes at the same time. If you want to do one at a time, that's fine. It's no problem at all.
Also, I think, is there any side effect from LASIK surgery?
Yeah, and then they ask about the recovery as well.
Yes.
Actually, like I said, the recovery is very fast. So we always tell people you can do your activities the next day, except try not to read too much. Don't play your gadgets, obviously, for the first 1 or 2 days. And you can fly. A lot of people flying from around Southeast Asia because our price is usually cheaper than Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia, Thailand. So they usually come in flying Friday, have it done on Saturday, and they're actually flying home on Sunday. That's amazing.
All right.
That's how fast it is. So the most important follow-up is actually the first day because we will check to make sure that everything is sealed up, you are safe, there's no infection. And after that, if you don't want to come and see us anymore, it's fine. This is what the medical tourists would do. They won't see me anymore after that. Or if you want, if you're a local, you can come for our free 12 months checkup for free anytime you're at Mid Valley ExcelView Laser Eye Center.
Yes.
So our follow-up is guaranteed for 12 months.
Okay.
Now, the cost of the laser depends on the packages. Okay, so it depends on your power. All right, so do contact our ExcelView Laser Eye Center 03-2287-3797, and then you can call us up. Actually, at the moment, we have a promotion, isn't it?
Yes, we do have a promotion.
Yeah.
But please do contact our customer service as well as the ExcelView Laser Eye Clinic to find out more about these promotions. Okay.
So it's time for you to announce the happy winners.
Yes, for the first quiz, we have selected winners already. The first person name is Daniel. Okay. Second is Susanna Hani Hussein. Then we have the third one, Kauselia Sheila. And the fourth is B Hon Tan. Then the fifth is Punita Kalai. Okay. So all these 5 winners for the first question will be entitled to get 2 bottles of the eye drops that doctor is holding right now. And then, of course, you also get the protective eye mask.
Congratulations.
So, yes, congratulations. Please do contact our customer service. So, in order for us to allow you to redeem at a selected Focus Point outlet. Okay? Please do contact our customer service. Okay? So, in order to redeem the free gift in one of the selected outlets. Okay? So, let's move on, doctor.
Yep.
So, we were talking about after LASIK treatment.
Yep.
So what is the follow-up during this period of time?
Yes. The most important follow-up, as I mentioned, is actually the first day to make sure everything is healed up safely. And once that is done, you actually can get back to your own activities. Then after that, our recommended schedule is 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. But you can come anytime throughout that whole time because we are situated in a very convenient place in Mid Valley Mega Mall.
Okay. So can you maybe somehow summarize what are the benefits of the LASIK treatment?
Yeah.
Just for recap.
Yes. LASIK treatment has been really I would say revolutionized the whole eye industry because it's basically given freedom to a lot of people who in the past relied only on the two optical treatment, glasses
Yes.
and contact lens. And this was the one that has allowed us to have a choice, to have the third one. The impact has been spectacular because it's given freedom to sportsmen. As I mentioned, even people like the golfers, Tiger Woods, and people, they've all had it done. People like footballers and rugby players, they had it done. And more importantly, is actually the armed forces. You know, it is now, in the past, you had to have perfect eyesight to join the Army, Navy, Armed Forces, Bomba. You need to have perfect eyesight. But as mentioned earlier, the incidence is now to about 30% with refractive areas. We need to have people joining these forces. And now at least the forces actually allow the people to have the LASIK done so that they can actually have an opportunity to join the forces. Because you're not allowed to wear glasses for Army, Navy, and police.
True.
Okay, so they have come. And then when you're in the airline industry as well, the cabin crew, you're not allowed to wear glasses on board. So they used to wear contact lens. But wearing contact lens for 18 hours stretch overseas is actually very, very difficult because on the aeroplane, as you know, it's actually very, very dry. And most of them have a lot of dryness issues. So this is what has happened. The accuracy has really improved. We've gone down from last time 1 eye at a time to now 2 eyes together. And then the recovery has gone from 1 week to the next day.
Wow.
That has been the absolute technology advancement in LASIK.
All right.
And that's why LASIK has now become the third option for people who've got refractive errors after glasses, contact lens. So always remember, you have a third option to consider.
Yes. So thank you very much, Dr. Hoh, for sharing those wonderful benefits with our viewers today. So of course, viewers, please don't forget to like and share our Facebook post. Okay. So let's move on to some more questions. Okay. So the first question that we have is, what is the lowest possible prescription that the person can do for LASIK?
Okay, yes. The lowest power is usually about 100 because below 100, actually, you don't really need glasses. You can actually see quite well. Most of the time when you actually need glasses is about 100, 150 because you really cannot really drive with that kind of glass and you cannot see the TV.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, from 100. So the upper limit, as mentioned, is 1,002. Now, do we allow LASIK on one eye? Yeah, of course.
Yes.
If that eye is the one with the refractive error, we can do one. Or if you have refractive error in 2 eyes, but you want to do one at a time, yes, we can also do that. There's no problem. We can do one today and one the next day, or one this week and one the next week. There's no problem at all. Yeah, it's very flexible.
Okay, good. So, so the next question is, among all the centers that's available, the viewers will think, why should they choose ExcelView as their destination of choice?
Yeah, I like to say, choose that because I'm here. So, 5 good reasons. First is because we've got very highly trained personnel because it's a team effort. It's just not me. I do the procedure, but I need the highly skilled optometrists who are trained from overseas like England, Singapore, to be able to measure you and also to check on you and also to measure up after your laser. I will prepare the laser and I also have a team of highly trained nurses as well. Second one is because we actually have a very stringent, we don't advertise, we have a very stringent checkup for you. So we follow the guidelines so that even if you are not suitable, we will not proceed with it because we want people to be happy with their results. There are other people that may actually try to force things to do onto your eyes when they're not suitable, but I completely disagree with that. So we make sure that only those that are suitable will to go for it. Third is because we have a lot of flexibility in actually your payment, we actually allow you to have interest-free installment payment with either a few banks and through credit card to give you the flexibility to choose the kind of packages that you would like to have. And they're interest-free to allow you to do that. Number 4, well, we've had patients from all over Southeast Asia. They come fly in and fly out because of our costs. That's nice. And I hope because of our service as well. And lastly, because of our accuracy. Because at the end of the day, this is a very highly personalized service. And usually we get patient because it's word of mouth. And then lastly?
Yes, of course, I think
Our
lastly,
location is
the
probably,
location.
hopefully, one of the best. And it's really suitable for overseas patients because when they come in, they like to go to the biggest shopping mall in the country, and that's Mid Valley Mega Mall. So they actually combine it with a stay, shopping, as well as having the laser done. At Mid Valley Mega Mall, we have a choice of three hotels: a 3-star, 4-star, and a 5-star. If you have any issues, do contact our staff. They can help you book, but actually it's probably cheaper to book online. So a lot of people come in on Friday, fly in, have it done on Saturday, and on Sunday go a bit shopping, and then they check out and fly home. That's about it. Yeah.
Okay.
So the last question we have here is LASIK permanent? Yes, it is. It will be permanent, and hopefully you don't need to have glasses until you're about 45, 50 when you need reading glasses. Some do, to be fair, some do come back a little bit. The power come back, we call it sort of recurrence or residual. There's no problem because in our packages, we actually give you one free touch-up if the power comes back. And even if they do, it doesn't go back to your original power of about 700 or 800. It comes back maybe about 100, 150. We can do a free touch-up. We call it touch-up called enhancement.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. So for our final giveaway, all right, I'm sure the viewers are very excited to maybe if they miss out on the first giveaway, maybe this is the second round. You can actually try your best, your luck again. All right. So of course, just now earlier I was asking the good doctor why you should choose ExcelView as your destination. So like what Dr. Ho has mentioned, maybe you can actually write one of the reasons why you should choose ExcelView to undergo the LASIK treatment. Please put it onto the comment box, your answers, as quickly as possible so we can choose the winners. So basically for these winners, they're gonna get a very great giveaway, which is the free suitability test. Okay.
Worth 100 ringgit.
Yes. And also, of course, a consultation with the good doctor, Dr. Ho. All right. So he will be providing you a one-to-one consultation. So it's a suitability test for LASIK as well as a consultation with Dr. Ho. So please don't wait anymore. Place the answers, the reasons why you should choose ExcelView.
Just one of the any 5 reasons will do.
That's right. Okay. Quickly do that. So, yeah, because we have a lot of questions early on, and of course, we would like to have the viewers to like and share our Facebook Live today. So, of course, for the promotions again, please, if you are interested in getting your laser eye treated, basically, please contact our customer service as well as ExcelView to find out what is the promotions. Okay. So, of course, for the winners that we're going to announce afterwards for the suitability test and the consultation, basically, this offer is valid until the end of October. So, you have a good 2 months plus, to come and visit ExcelView for yourself and see the location as well as the instruments available in the clinic. All right. So I think we still have some minor questions. Yeah, one of the questions is the patient awake during the LASIK procedure?
Yeah, people did ask that. Is there an injection? Are you being put to sleep? No, actually, you just lie down there as if you're going for a facial procedure. And because it's so fast, you don't need to have an injection. We give you some numbing eye drops called anesthetic. Because the laser is only less than 60 seconds, you won't feel very much at all. You feel a bit of discomfort, hear a little bit of sound, and then it's done. So that's why you don't really need to be put to sleep.
Right, that's good. So when they can go back to work?
Yep, as mentioned before, this is a very, very common question. You can go back to work usually on the Monday, so you don't really need to have a medical certificate at all. Even sportsmen, I've had doctors and dentists and people like that who have done the LASIK, and they were back to work on the Monday. So they don't have any issues. We do, however, ask you not to play too much on the gadgets because, like I said, playing on your mobile phone, computer games and things, you usually take a bit eye strain. So in the first week, we'd ask you to relax your eye, go out more, go out walking around, cycling and jogging. Those are good for you. So we've got question coming in about regression and enhancement. Yes.
So
when is the time to touch up? I think, as I mentioned, as long as it's about 100 plus. So yes, to that person asking, 100 to be suitable. Minus 050, not really, because minus 050 is actually quite a good number. You can actually still see 20/20. And minus 050 is quite a good number because as you get older, it also delays your presbyopia, your lao hua, because it allows you to see a bit near. So I won't touch the 0.5, but 1.0, yes. Now, regression after 10 years, that's quite unusual. Now, that's because I think most of us now are glued to gadgets, which, like as I said, the previous generation didn't have this. So it's, if I notice people now, people when the computer games thing came in with their Game Boys and the computer, yeah, they were stuck on the computer. But when they get home, they're usually not on the gadget. But now with the mobile phone devices, I'm afraid all of us are actually glued to something, either at work, which is your computer, at home, which is your TV, and before you sleep, everybody checks their Facebook, and the first thing in the morning. So if you calculate the amount of hours that you've subject your eyes to, is quite substantial. So I think that's not healthy. So yes, that could be one of the reasons why you get a regression after 10 years. So my advice to parents out there, make sure the kids do get their sunlight and go out to see, natural things like trees and the beach and things, instead of being stuck in the house. You're not doing that. Yes, that's good question. Someone just brought up reading in the dark and using handphone. Yes, that is no good. Because it's the amount of hours, because a survey had done, one of the studies have shown that the more books you have read, the higher your power. Okay? So for those parents who are asking for the kids to go to tuition, read lots of books, they must also balance that with going out, cycling and seeing things as well, because that relaxes your focusing muscles. Now, all these articles, okay, refractive error, the thing about relaxing your eyes, computer vision syndrome, and LASIK are the articles I've actually written and will be posted up after this live session is end. So do go back to Focus Point Facebook and you can see my articles, electronic articles in there. Okay. You've got something to do now.
Yes. Now we have selected some winners for the second quiz. Okay. So these winners will be entitled to get a free suitability test as well as a free consultation with Dr. Hoh in ExcelView Laser Eye Center. So the names I'm going to announce now is, the first one is Li Mei. Okay. Second is Mei Mei Wong. Third one is Kausalya Celia. And the fourth is Veronica Lin. Okay.
Congratulations.
So, yes, congratulations to all four of you. So if you have heard your name be announced, please contact the our customer service as well as the ExcelView to make an appointment prior to visiting the outlet. Okay. So now, thanks very much for your questions and attention. So I think there's a very, I think a lot of customers are finding this topic today very interesting.
Yes.
So, correct. Of course, we won't be able to answer all the questions. If you do have questions, then maybe our customer service will be able to answer you online.
But they can read the what they have missed.
Yes.
By going back to the Facebook page.
That's right.
You can share it with your friends. Okay, share with your friends because the articles, the videos,
yes,
and all everything that you need to know about computer vision, as well as refractive errors, will be hosted into the Facebook page.
Yes. So Dr. Hoh has actually provided some links to the LASIK eye treatment understanding as well as what is refractive errors. So you can actually go on to the captions in this Facebook Live afterwards to view them. Okay. So thanks very much for your attention. We hope that you like and share. And of course, we hope to see you on the next episode. All right. Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you soon.